Hi, welcome back, and today I'd like to talk about a word family associated with boasting or pride, and to see a little bit how this word family is used in the Greek New Testament. We have the verb kalchaomai, it's deponent, that means I boast or take pride in, and there's some other compound forms as well. Ta kalchema, that means boasting or pride, and also another noun, he kalchesis, boasting or pride. As always, context determines whether boasting or pride are either right or wrong. The word family is used 35 times by Paul alone. Now, there's a wrong and a right boasting or pride. The wrong is comparative. That is, with other people. The right kind of boasting or pride is expressed in a vertical relationship with God. So a couple of texts there from 1 Corinthians 3, you'll see the wrong kind. So then let no one boast among men. And also in 1 Corinthians 4, arrogant independence is singled out. What do you have that you didn't receive? And if you did receive it, why do you boast as if you didn't receive it? Because the Corinthians are boasting of this kind of arrogant independence, of being self-sufficient. Paul says you've been dependent upon others. But the right kind of boasting, we boast in God through our Lord Jesus Christ. And then a little bit later, but by the grace of God I am what I am, and His grace did not prove to be empty towards me. So we have a dependence here upon God versus the comparative language where it's juxtaposed with other people. There are two key texts that exclude all human bragging. Take a look at 1 Corinthians 1. So that no one may boast before God, in order that just as it is written, let him who boasts, boast in the Lord. Now, in view of the Gentile and Jewish bankruptcy that Paul has detailed in Romans 1 through 3, both Jews and Gentiles are bankrupt. He raises the rhetorical question and then he answers it. Where then is boasting? It is excluded. It's like it's been closed, or the door's been shut to human boasting, or we might say bragging rights. And then Paul goes on in Romans 4 to pull out Abraham, the grand progenitor of the Jewish race. And the whole of chapter 4 is about Abraham and the truths associated with him. And so it's as if Paul is saying here, if anyone can boast, it's Abraham, the grand progenitor of the Jewish race. But if it can be shown that Abraham has no grounds for bragging rights, then guess what? The same holds true for everybody else. All are included. In Philippians 3, Paul takes away all of the human props for bragging rights. He calls this confidence en sarki, confidence in the flesh. Torah here, understood as a system of performance and rewards. Circumcision, religious heritage and upbringing, religious performance, religious zeal. Paul goes through a detailed list of his background in Orthodox Pharisaism, and he says all of this is for nothing. But there's also a healthy pride. Paul boasts in his compounded suffering, 2 Corinthians 4. In Romans 5, we boast in the hope of the glory of God. Boasting or pride can be other-centered. For instance, in 2 Corinthians, I have a great confidence in you. I take pride in all of you. And then in 2 Corinthians 7, I had boasted to him, meaning Titus, about you, and you haven't embarrassed me. So here, there's a healthy pride, both in one's suffering and a healthy pride in others and what they've done. One final text. However, we will not boast, kalke samatha, beyond proper limits. We're not going to push the limit. But we'll continue our boasting to the field God has assigned to us, to a field that reaches even to you. So Paul is aware here of some of his own limits. Here he expresses a healthy sense of pride in his efforts and what's been accomplished. And all of us need a healthy sense of pride, but a pride that is not seen in comparison with others. Thanks so much.